straight cold. Should be a blinking green. See, it's in record. That orange, that red, right there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the College Conservatory of Music. Ohio State law requires that we notify our audiences of all available exits in case of an emergency. Please take time to observe all marked exits. The consumption of food or drink and the use of cameras or recording devices is prohibited. We also ask that you turn off all cell phones and pagers at this time. Thank you for your attention. Tonight's performance will begin shortly.
Good evening and welcome. It's my pleasure to welcome you here to the kickoff of our season, our jazz main stage season. My name is Scott Belk. I'm the Director of Jazz and Commercial Music here at CCM. And it's wonderful to see so many of you here on a beautiful night. It's a special night in a number of ways, but I will get to that in just a second. I would like to draw your attention to something that's in your program. It is a chance, an opportunity actually, for you to get onto our email list. We keep a jazz concert list that keeps everybody in the loop as far as our main stage performances, faculty, jazz tet, everything else. And we are, if you will fill this out and leave it on one of the stands as you exit, we will be drawing 5 of them for a new copy. 5 people will receive a copy of the CCM Faculty Jazz Tet, the new release that just came out this past year, entitled After 5. Really cool graphics. I don't know if you can see that in the light. It's maybe not. Okay, all right. Done by the graphic artist that does all the art for the Bob and Tom show. If you're familiar with that, so good stuff. Maybe not. Okay. Anyway, we have a very exciting season in store for you, those of you who are going to be joining us all through the year. This is just the start. We kick off our next concert and are preparing for it on Monday. And we have just two weeks before we get ready for that. And that will be an entirely new program of the music of Charles Mingus. It's entitled Beneath the Underdog. So also in your program is the entire season. And then special attention that we'll call to our annual, not annual, our every 3 or 4 or 5 years we do the music of Stan Kenton. It's a very, very popular concert, so I would urge you to grab your tickets ahead of time because that likely will sell out, as well as our holiday concert that is very popular. And also in 1 week from Tuesday in Warner Recital Hall, our faculty is presenting The Birth of the Cool, Miles Davis landmark recording The Birth of the Cool, and not very often that you get a chance to hear those tunes performed live, so we'd like to invite you out for that. That is a free concert, again, October 7th, Tuesday night. It's going to feature Randy Gardner from our classical French horn studio. He's busy playing with the Philadelphia Orchestra this week, so he's okay. Let's see, and I think that'll get us going. I did mention that tonight is a special night, and it really is. About 1985, our division head, Mr. Earl Rivers, or Dr. Earl Rivers, met with my predecessor, Rick Van Mater, and they just identified the priorities for the Jazz Studies program. And at that time, the priority was, in 1985, a fourth tenure-track line professor for the department. Well, we got one just this past year and approved. It took that long to get this. And because of that, we were very fortunate to welcome a new member to our faculty, to our CCM Jazz faculty family. And tonight is his inaugural concert. And just to give you a little bit of information about him, Craig Bailey is our new assistant professor of jazz saxophone. And he is a Cincinnati native, went to Withrow High School, and also to the University of Miami in Coral Gables. He spent the last 30 years in New York, and as amongst other things, the founder and leader of the co-leader of the Brooklyn Big Band. And then along the way, he spent about 17, 18 years playing lead alto saxophone with the Ray Charles Orchestra. So he comes to us with a wealth of experience and professionalism and musicality. And at this time, please welcome to the stage and join us in welcoming to the stage, Craig Bailey.
I don't even know how to thank Dr. Belk. I'm going to say some thank yous. First of all, I just want to say good evening to everybody, and I'm glad that you're all here, because we were wondering, the band kept saying, is there anybody going to come tonight? I said, don't worry, I got my whole family coming. So all of you guys are my whole family. Right? See, I told you we're going to have an audience. Nothing to worry about. First of all, I always like to thank the Creator, God, the universe, my dear parents who are looking over me tonight, and of course Dr. Belk for making this happen, along with Dean Peter Langford and somebody very special. She's been very instrumental in making sure that I get everything I need. From the first day I walked in the office, I said, look, I need a computer, I need a telephone working, I need a desk, I need this, I need that, and she's like the MacGyver of CCM. And that's Ms. Rose Hensley. She's been very, 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 very nice with just making sure that I'm well taken care of. And so tonight, I want to dedicate this music to all of you out there, and I want to say a special thanks, because once I get up on stage, sometimes I get hyped up and I completely forget what I'm doing here. So I want to thank the band ahead of time, just in case, because you know what might happen, right? Yeah. And I know everybody's name is running the program, but I want to just take a moment and try to pronounce. This is the hardest part of the job for me tonight, is to pronounce the band's name. When I was with Ray Charles, it took him 5 years to get my name straight. He called me Greg, son, other names when he was mad. But finally we got it straight. So tonight I'm going to start with the saxophones, starting with this gentleman here on baritone saxophone. Please stand up and take a nice little bow. Mr. Sound Biting on the baritone saxophone. Next to Sound, Kyle Kidwell on the tenor. Please stand up. On lead alto saxophone, he's playing one of the most beautiful ballads that you will ever want to hear tonight. Please put your hands together for Mr. Ander Peterson. And on alto saxophone, the anchor man right next to him, Mr. Curtis Holgren. And not, you know how they always say, last but not least, so I might as well say the same thing. Last but not least, please, Mr. Andrew Lynn on tenor saxophone. And now with the trombones here, and I just asked him 5 seconds ago, how do you pronounce that last name? Because it's a very unusual name, so I'm gonna have to write a tune about it. On the bass trombone, I got a story about bass trombone players, but I'll tell you all about that later. All right. On bass trombone, please put your hands together for Mr. Kyle Mousevich. On lead trombone, Matthew Durr. Matthew Christian Dawson. And holding down the rest of the trombone section, please put your hands together for G.A. Shem. Now here on the trumpets, starting with this gentleman right here in the corner. Let me get my little cheat sheet out. On trumpet, please put your hands together for Mr. Michael Cruz. Matthew Hartman. You can't do a big band without a great lead trumpet player. And we have one. He's more than one. He's like two people in one. Please, Chuck Bendis on the lead trumpet. Sarah Herbert on trumpet. And Mr. James Tillman also on trumpet. And over here we have the hottest rhythm section in all of Cincinnati. I asked my brother to call the fire department in advance, just in case it gets too hot up here. I said, look, let's just have them standing outside the door because these guys are ready to burn the house down. On the guitar, please put your hands together for Mr. Rob Kokachak. On the piano, he's becoming my favorite pianist of them all. I mean, what can I say about it? But thank you. Mr. Jackson Steiger. Don't be deceived by her look. She is very, very, very like, you know, kind of like timid and fragile. But when she starts to play that bass, you're all in trouble. Where everybody's wearing a wig or got your shoes loose, please tie them down. Because Julia might make them fall off tonight. Julia Higgins. And this gentleman here is going to bring out the spirit of the great Buddy Rich. I have a short story. In 1986, I was now living in New York City. I had moved from Cincinnati at the end of '85, and I was in Brooklyn at a shoe store. And there was this guy over here, and everybody was kind of standing around him. I kind of walked past, and it was Buddy Rich. This is a true story. He was playing at the Village Vanguard, and there was a bass trombone player from here named Garfield Fobbs, who graduated from CCM, who I did not know was playing with Buddy Rich that night, but I went over and I talked to Buddy Rich, and he was saying, man, it's great to be back in New York City. I love the traffic, it's, you know, all the noise and all this, so I started thinking about all that, and tonight I had to put something together, so later we have a little tribute to Buddy, something that I wrote. But there's a myth that I think this is very important for all those who have some but not all the information about Buddy Rich. He was a very, very strong band leader, and Mr. Rich would scream, yell, and even sometimes curse at the band. I mean, there are tapes that have been traveling around, and these famous tapes. The night at the Village Vanguard, at the end of the concert, I was in the back with the owner, Max Gordon, Buddy Rich, and amongst some other musicians. And Buddy Rich said to Max Gordon, you know why I scream and yell at my musicians? You know why? And I was just scared to death. He said, because I love this music. So all that screaming and yelling wasn't because he was angry at the musicians. It was because he was passionate about what they did. So when you hear me screaming and yelling at these musicians tonight, just know that I'm not mad at them. I'm just trying to bring out their best performance. And with no further ado, please put your hands together for the CCM Jazz Orchestra.
Yeah, he forgot to introduce the drummer.
No, he didn't. That's what he was talking about. Oh, he don't. He ain't leaving.
One, two, three. great Miles Davis tune, 4. So we're kind of give you a little bit of Buddy Rich and Miles Davis at the same time. Let's see what happens. Watch, man. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. first time we ever played.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very, very much. I'd like to introduce several people right now. First of all, this next tune is a beautiful ballad that features our alto saxophonist, is what I like to call it, saxophonist. You won't find that in the Webster's dictionary, but you will find that in the Bailey's dictionary. Please put your hands together, first of all, for Mr. Ander Peterson. I have the absolute pleasure of introducing someone who's going to come up and conduct this tune. I'm going to step aside. Already somebody's trying to take my job. Haven't even been here 3 months yet. He's a graduate assistant. I'm not quite sure if he's from the West Coast, because when I called him this summer, he said, I'm not on the West Coast. I said, okay, so maybe he's a West Coast guy. No, where's he from? Like I said, he's from West Virginia. He is an absolute wonderful trumpet player. He's like a son and a brother to me. Sometimes he's, you know, I tell you, I can't not describe this gentleman. He's just one of the most wonderful people, and as you see, he's also a great conductor. And he's also playing in the first band that'll be coming on a little later, and he's a wonderful musician. I'm sure he's taking a solo. Please, I want you all, you know, I had the pleasure of playing with Art Blakey for a short moment, and he always used to say, the harder you applause, that's like food for the musicians. So I want you all to put your hands together and just, until, not till you're bleeding, because there are no injuries or anything, but please put your hands together for Mr. Ty Sheets. backstage. After this is all over with, I'm not joking. My office room number is 1410, which is downstairs. You take parking level 1, 1410. I have food and drinks. No, I'm very serious. This is no joke. I would love for the parents, the friends, the patrons, anyone who wants to just come by and say hello, you're more than welcome to come down and just thank these wonderful musicians who will all be down there for a little while. My room number again is 1410. The doors will be wide open. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised if you come down and say hello. Just take a moment of your time before you go home. I know some of you have to work tomorrow, but if you do that, I would greatly appreciate it. And this next tune is a tune dedicated to, of course, Buddy Rich. This is called Brooklyn. And remember I told you, when I talked to Buddy, he talked about how the traffic was very similar to the 10 and all the noise and everything that was going on. So we kind of put this together, and hopefully you'll get a feel of everything that we were talking about when we were talking about him being here in New York City and playing at the Village Vanguard. So this is Brooklyn. tune. So I decided to calm things down after that. You know, I'm not as young as I used to be. Plus, I forgot to stop by Walmart to get me a new battery for my pacemaker. You know, so this is our last tune. This is called My Blues, a little quiet, little something. And this is dedicated to one of my greatest teachers. He taught me so much on the road. That was Ray Charles. And also this is a dedication to Buddy Rich. And for all of you who like the blues, this is My Blues.
good.
You didn't know what you were coming to.
Yeah. So amazing.
It's gonna rain.
Unbelievable.
You always get to say
What? Hi, big guy. On fire. So good.
So good. So.
We're going to keep it going.